everyone. Welcome to the lecture for the course Refrigeration and Air Conditioning. Today we will continue with the primary and secondary refrigerants. Myself Sumit Bardia, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Sharad Institute of Technology, College of Engineering at Roy. Today we will cover the following points such as Introduction to Refrigerants, Classification of Refrigerants, Primary refrigerants, secondary refrigerants, designation of refrigerants, application of refrigerants, and heat pump and industrial applications of heat pump. First slide is about the introduction to refrigerants. A refrigerant is defined as any substance that absorbs heat through expansion or vaporization and loses it through condensation in a refrigeration system. The term refrigerant in the broadest sense is also applied to such secondary cooling mediums as cold water or brine or any other solutions. Usually refrigerants include only those working mediums which pass through the cycle of evaporation, recovery, compression, condensation and liquefaction. These substances absorb heat at one place at low temperature level and reject the same at some other place having higher temperature and pressure. The rejection of heat takes place at a cost of some mechanical work. Thus, circulating cold mediums and cooling mediums are not primary refrigerants. In the early days, only 4 refrigerants such as air, ammonia, carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide possessing chemical, physical and thermodynamic properties permitting their efficient application and service in the practical design of refrigeration equipment were used. All the refrigerants change from liquid state to vapor state during the process. Refrigerants have to be physiologically non-toxic and non-flammable substances. Here I'll show that these are the 4 natural refrigerants are available. Now they have to be physiological non-toxic and non-flammable substances. Thermodynamically, they are essentially characterized by their respective normal boiling points. The normal boiling point of a refrigerant should be little lower than the evaporator temperature. This will ensure positive pressure both in the condenser as well as in evaporator and as such in whole refrigeration system. Positive pressure in the system is desirable so that the atmospheric air may not enter into the system through gap across compressor shaft seal. The choice of a particular refrigerant depends upon the application in terms of refrigeration capacity that may be categorized very small, small, medium or large. The type of compressor used, generally that may be reciprocating or rotary or centrifugal compressor. Third one, the refrigeration temperature required whether for air conditioning, cold storage or food freezing. So that depends the choice of particular refrigerant. Next is about the classification of refrigerants. The refrigerants are generally classified into 2 categories, mainly 2 categories, that is primary refrigerants and secondary refrigerants. Primary refrigerants are those working mediums or heat carriers which directly take part in the refrigeration system and cool the substance by the absorption of latent heat. For example, if you are using ammonia, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, methyl chloride, freon group, so these are a primary refrigerant which are directly used in the refrigeration system. Secondary refrigerants are those refrigerants are nothing but a circulating substances which are first cooled with the primary refrigerants and then it is employed in the cooling purposes such as ice, carbon dioxide, etc. These refrigerants cool substances by absorption of their sensible heat. For example, ice plant, in that we are using a secondary refrigerant as in brine solution, or if we are using laboratory equipment, then we are going for the ethylene glycol or methylene glycol for as in secondary refrigerants. Okay, we'll go with the first primary refrigerants, in which it is categorized into halocarbon compounds, azeotrophs, hydrocarbons, inorganic compounds, and unsaturated organic compounds. We'll go one by one. Halocarbon compounds, that is the first category of primary refrigerants. In 1928, Charles Kettering and Dr. Thomas Mickey invented and developed this group of refrigerants. In this group are included refrigerants which contain one or more 3 halogens, fluorine and bromine, and they are sold in the market under the names of freon, genetron, isotron and areton. Since the refrigerants belonging to this group have outstanding merits over the group of refrigerants, therefore they find wide field of application in domestic, commercial and industrial purposes. ASHRAE, that is American Society of Heating, Ventilation and Air Conditioning Engineers, identified total 42 halocarbon compounds as refrigerants, but only a few of them are commonly used. Some of the commonly used halocarbon compounds are listed here in the table, are 11, 12, 13, 14, 21, 22, 30, 40, 100, 113, 114, 115, 152. So these are the ranges of refrigerants we are calling as halocarbon compounds, and their chemical name and chemical formula. So these are the commonly used refrigerants in the domestic, commercial and industrial purposes it is used. Next category is about azeotrophs. Azeotrophs are the refrigerants belonging to this group consist of mixture of different substances. These substances cannot be separated into components by distillation. They possess fixed thermodynamic properties and they do not undergo any separation with changes in temperature and pressure. An azeotroph behaves like a simple substance. So there are some examples of azeotrophs here. R500, which contains 73.8% of R12, that is a mixture of two refrigerants R12 and R152. The constituents will be 73.8% R12, 26.2 R152. So and its chemical formula. So accordingly R502, R503, R504. So these are the artificial azeotrophs which consist of mixture of two different refrigerants. Third category is the hydrocarbons. Most of the refrigerants of this group are organic compounds. Several hydrocarbons are used successfully in commercial and industrial installations. Most of them possess satisfactory thermodynamic properties but are highly inflammable. So some of the refrigerants are listed in the table here, that is R50, R170, R290, R600, R601. So in current scenario, R290 is a promising refrigerant which having a lesser ODP and GWP, or we can call as a approximately 0 ODP and GWP, which is propane, but the disadvantage is that it is highly flammable. Okay, so that is about the hydrocarbons. Next is inorganic compounds. Before hydrocarbon group was introduced, the refrigerants were mostly commonly used for all purposes. This category, that is inorganic compound, we are calling as a natural refrigerants. R717, ammonia, water, air, carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide. So they are nothing but inorganic compounds. Okay. Now they are widely used in the commercial applications and as well as in industrial applications. Unsaturated organic compounds, the refrigerants belonging to this group possess ethylene or propylene as their constituents. So some of them are listed here are 1120, trichloroethyl, ethylene, dichloroethylene, ethylene and propylene. So they are coming under unsaturated organic compounds and these are all coming under primary refrigerants. The next category is secondary refrigerants. There are several applications which forbid the direct use of refrigerant due to safety consideration. As an example, the toxic refrigerants cannot be used for air conditioning of residential buildings. Similarly, the amount of refrigerant for the circulation in a big cold storage would be so large that its cost may be comparable with the refrigeration systems. Under such circumstances, the cheaper grade suitable cooling media such as water, brine solution of sodium chloride or calcium chloride is selected to have an indirect cooling. The advantages of using secondary refrigerants are here listed. That is, different temperatures can be maintained in different parts of the building by controlling the amount of brine flowing to that part. And it is also easy to handle and easy to control. The size of pipeline is considerably smaller. It keeps the toxic refrigerant away from the load space. So that is important also. The commonly used refrigerants, secondary refrigerants are water, sodium chloride brine, calcium chloride brine. Brine is nothing but it is a mixture of salt, that is sodium chloride, and water. So that is in particular proportion, it is nothing but a brine solution. So calcium chloride brine, last one ethylene glycol, propylene glycol. So these are commonly used secondary refrigerants. In commercial and industrial applications, we are using these secondary refrigerants. We know that water is universally used as secondary refrigerant when the required temperature to be maintained is above the freezing point of water. It is used in the air conditioning plants and industrial cooling installations. In air conditioning plants, chilled water is used for cooling and dehumidifying the air either with the help of cooling or with the help of water spray unit. Second category is brine solution, that is sodium chloride or calcium chloride. Brine is a solution of salt in water. It may be noticed that when the salt is mixed in water, then the freezing temperature of the solution becomes lower than that of the water. This is due to the fact that the salt, while dissolving in water, takes off its latent heat from the solution and cools it below the freezing point of water. The mass of the salt in the solution expressed as the percentage of the mass of the solution is called as a concentration of the solution. As the concentration of solution increases, its freezing point decreases. But if the concentration of salt is increased beyond a certain point, the freezing point increases instead of decreasing. The point at which the freezing point is minimum is known as eutectic temperature, and the concentration at this point is known as eutectic concentration. The brine used in a particular application should have a concentration for which the freezing point of the brine is at least 5 degrees Celsius to 8 degrees Celsius lower than that the brine temperature required. Okay, so that is about the water and brine solution which is used as a secondary refrigerant in the applications. Now we have discussed that what is R717, R50, R290, R11, 12, 13, 14. What is R11? How this refrigerant number is given to a particular chemicals, that we need to see now. So that is nothing but the designation of refrigerants. The International Designation Committee of Refrigerants using refrigerant or R as a designation followed by certain numericals. For example, R11, R12, R13. R represents refrigerant. A refrigerant is followed by 2-digit number. Suppose it is R11, indicates that the refrigerant is derived from the methane base. So R11, R12, R22, these are derived from the methane base. And if there are 3-digit numbers such as R500 or R290, represents ethane base. Okay. So the general chemical formula for a compound derived from saturated hydrocarbon is given by this equation, that is C suffix A, H suffix B, F suffix C and Cl, that is suffix D. C means carbon, H hydrogen, F fluorine and Cl is nothing but chlorine. Okay, so here written is A, B, C, D is number of carbon atoms, B number of hydrogen atoms, C number of fluorine atoms and D number of chlorine atoms. Okay, so we are following the equation B plus C plus D equal to 2A plus 2. So we'll see accordingly in the next point, that is the complete designation of a referent is given by R. If suppose that R11, you need to follow this equation, that is A minus 1 B plus 1 multiplied by C. So that we need to follow. We'll see by taking an example. We'll take an example of dichlorotetrafluoroethane. So in that, dichloro means 2 chlorine atoms are there, tetrafluoro means 4 chlorine atom is there and no hydrogen atoms present is there. So here chlorine atoms means D, number of chlorine atoms is D. So how much that is? D equal to 2. Fluorine atoms, that is C. C here, fluorine atoms is suffix C is there, number of fluorine atoms. So here fluorine atoms are 4, that is tetrafluoro is there, and remaining no hydrogen is there, no carbon is there. So we will follow this equation, that is B plus C plus D 2A plus 2. B is 0, we don't have carbon atom. C is 4 fluorine atoms, D is 2 and 2A, A is 0. So here number of carbon atoms, here if we see 2 is there, 2A, 1 minute, ethane is there. So number of carbon atoms will be there. So plus 2, 2A plus 2, here the equation is 2A plus 2. Okay, so here what will be the equation then? A equal to 2, as that is number of carbon atoms is 2 for the ethane purpose. Thus the chemical formula for dichlorotetrafluoroethane is C2Cl2F4. No hydrogen atom is there. Yes, carbon atom is there, 2 carbon atoms is there, and the designation we can call here. This equation is used for the balancing the equation. So if we see here, if you put up the value of A, 4 plus 2 6, 4 plus 2 6. So here the 6 equal to 6. So the equation is balanced. Okay, so chemical formula is balanced. So we need to calculate now the number of refrigerant, means designation of refrigerant here. Then we are going to use this equation, that is R A minus 1 B plus 1 C. So R A is 2 minus 1, B is 0, we don't have B, 0 plus 1 multiplied by 4. So 2 minus 1 is 1, 0 plus 1 is 1 and the 4. So R114 is the designation of a refrigerant. Similarly here few examples are given. You can go through it and calculate the refrigerant number. Next slide is about the applications of refrigerant. There are lots of applications of the refrigerants are there. In that category, one will go for the freon application and second for the common refrigerants applications. So freon 11, that is R11, R12, R13, all those refrigerants have certain applications here, and with respect to that we are using those compressors type. So for example, if we go for the freon 11, R11, these are used in the air conditioning system ranging from 200 to 2000 tons in capacity. It is used where low freezing point and non-corrosive properties are important. So in that the centrifugal compressor is used to for that capacity we need to go for centrifugal compressor. Similarly for freon 12, 13, 14, here the applications Our air conditioning plants, refrigerator, frozen food, ice cream cabinets, there we are using R12. Okay. For low temperature application below minus 90 degrees Celsius in cascade system, we are going for R13 refrigerant. If we want to go for minus 130, we need to go for R14. And R22 are mainly used in the commercial air conditioning system. Still we are using R22. Also in the frozen food plants, display cases, low temperature applications. R113 for the small to medium air conditioning system and industrial cooling. R114 typically for the household refrigerators where rotary compressors are used in the large industrial process. R500 it is azeotrope, I think, for commercial air conditioning and household refrigeration, mostly where 50 cycle current is common. 502 and 503 for low temperature application. If we want to go for a particular lower temperature than minus 90 degrees Celsius up to, so we need to go for 503. Applications of common refrigerants in that, for example, air conditioning, theaters, offices, factories, auditoriums, cold water supply for the cooling and distillation, we need to go for R11, R13, CH2, Cl2. So that these are the refrigerant used for these purposes. Here the list is given. One more thing, for liquefaction of gases, we are calling as in cryogenics, metallurgical operation, wind tunnels, we need to go for R13, 14, ethylene. So these are used for ultra low temperature applications. Okay. We'll heading towards the small concept in our syllabus, that is heat pump. A refrigerator maintains a region at low temperature by removing heat QL. Here the QL is there, QL, and rejects heat to the QH, to a high temperature environment surrounding. However, some basic cycle could maintain a region at higher temperature by supplying heat QH while absorbing heat QL from low temperature medium such as atmosphere or lake. We can absorb heat from it. Then the device which maintains a region such as commercial building at higher temperature than that of its surrounding is called the heat pump. If we want to maintain the temperature higher than the surrounding, you need to go for a heat pump. So typical figure shows, this figure shows a modern air conditioning unit, combines both heating and cooling arrangement. When cooling is required, it is operated in the refrigeration mode and removes heat from QL, from a living space, and rejects heat to the QH outside the building environment. When heating of living space is required in the winter, it absorbs heat QL from the environment and supplies heat QH to the living space. So that is the reverse of refrigeration. In most common type of vapor compression heat pump for space heating, the evaporator communicates thermally with the outside air. Such air source heat pumps can also be used to provide cooling in the winter with the use of reversing valve. Here in the second figure, here reversing valve is there. It is commercially when such air source heat pumps are required, you need to go for this reversing valve. The solid lines shows flow path of the refrigerant in the heating mode as shown in the figure. To use the same components for cooling effect, the reverse valve is actuated this, and the refrigerant flows the path shown by the dotted line. So dotted line, when reversing valve is actuated, it will be reversed. The flow will be reversed. In the cooling mode, the outside heat exchanger becomes the condenser. Here the outside air becomes the condenser when cooling mode is there, and inside heat exchanger becomes the evaporator. Okay. For the reverse, in case of if you need a heating mode, the outside heat exchanger will be the evaporator and inside heat exchanger will be the condenser. So that is the reversing case for the heat pump. What are the applications of heat pump? We have lots of industrial applications of heat pump that is listed here. First one is purification of salty water. Purification of salty water. Concentration of juices, milk, syrups, dyes, chemicals, etc. For that heat pumps is required. Preparation of powder milk and table salt. There also we are going to use heat pump. For recovery of valuable solvents from different manufacturing processes, there heat pumps is required. And of course for year-round air conditioning. By using those this valve, reversing valve used, we can use the same air conditioner for summer season as well as winter season. Okay, in winter season it acts as an heat pump. In summer season it acts as an air conditioner or refrigeration air conditioner. Okay, so that is about the today's lecture. We'll cover the primary and secondary refrigerants and heat pump here. We'll continue the second chapter, vapor compression system, in the next lecture. Thank you.